Hello everyone, it's your lovely Abbie Dagrin and welcome back to my channel, loves. Today I'll be continuing a series on my channel that deals with natal chart analysis, and today I'll be doing one on Timothee Chalamet. I'll be speaking on his personality traits, his characteristic traits, how a lot of the placements in his chart has led to a lot of the success he's garnered. So please stay tuned for the rest of my video, lovelies. If you have not yet become a part of the Abbie Dagrin family, then this is your calling to do so. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you know when I upload videos on the daily. Please also make sure you hit that like button because I know you guys will love this video. And last but not least, please make sure you share this video with everyone you know, whether it's your friends, your family members, your enemies, anyone who is a fan of Timothée or really loves these videos. Now let's get right into the video. Timothée was born on December 27, 1995, so this qualifies him to be a Capricorn. And with this placement, he is an earth sign and a cardinal sign. So being an earth sign, he's someone who tends to be very much level-headed. He's someone who's very grounded and practical. And he's someone who's very patient as well. By him being a cardinal sign, which is Capricorn sun, he's someone who's always looking for the next level to achieve. He's someone who has very much leadership types of skills that he has kind of naturally in a way. And he's someone who just loves to do things that are very much going to help him increase his status and increase his way in life in the best way that he can. And he's been able to do that through his career, and he's been able to gain a lot of the success needed for himself and for his image as well. Up next would be his moon in Pisces. And with this placement, he's someone who's very empathetic, and he's always the types of person who loves to help someone in distress. They're always thinking about people. It is a water sign, so he tends to be very much intuitive in regards to the things that he does in life. He tends to be very sensitive and social and sympathetic. He's someone who will never let someone down in regards to the matter of the heart, and he's going to make sure that he does everything that he needs to do in order for him to be the best person that he can. Being very much empathetic and an empath really helps him a lot in regards to feeling other people's emotions and also being able to just know what's great and what isn't. He tends to be someone who's very artistic, has deep emotions. He's very subjective, idealistic, introspective, and sometimes he can have weak boundaries and sometimes be indecisive, but his intuition is very powerful. Up next would be his Mercury in Capricorn. Very nice for him to have his Mercury and Sun in the same placements. He's someone who is going to be very much slow in the way that they speak and write, so they're able to understand what they're saying. They really love structure and order in regards to their mental capacity as well as their verbal capacity as well. They're the types of people who are very practical and ambitious with the way they speak and the way that they think. They are very much concentrated on every single thing that they do. They're very logical and precise when they're solving their problems, and they tend to be very realistic people in regards to how they speak and how they do things. They are the types of people who have maybe a serious opinion on things. They have the type of efficient words that are very beneficial for them. They have a lot of calculated reasonings, and they have a very responsible perception on things. So this really does describe him. Up next would be his Venus in Aquarius. So with this placement, he's someone who is a humanitarian at heart. He really wants to help people and really benefit people in the best way that he can. He's someone who's very much going to inspire people wherever he goes because he is someone who likes to surround himself with very kind hearts. He's someone who really wants friendship in a relationship. Like, you just so happen to love each other, but we're friends at heart. He's someone who wants common goals with the person. Freedom is very much important in individuality. Excitement is something that he wants as well. He's very open-minded and thoughtful about the future. He's someone who is gonna want maybe an unconventional relationship. He's very curious. He may be someone who's offbeat, but he's someone who will always stick for the underdog. He loves people for their brains and their vision, and he really needs mental stimulation in a relationship. Next up is his Mars in Capricorn, and this is actually a very great placement to have. He's someone who's not about letting feelings or short-term gratifications get in the way of whatever he's trying to accomplish. He's going to make sure, regardless of how long this goal may take, he's going to make sure he accomplishes it 1,000,000%. He's someone who's very strong and very hardworking, and he is someone who has a desire for wealth, success, and power. So that's why he's going to make sure he works as much as he needs to as a Mars in Capricorn to get what he wants in life. He's someone who's very ambitious and very enduring when it comes to his life. And this is actually his third Capricorn placement. So he has a Capricorn stellium, meaning that a lot of the themes in his life and a lot of the things that he does in his life has a lot of Capricorn themes. So having a Mars in Capricorn is such a great placement for him. Up next would be his Jupiter in Sagittarius, and this is another great placement to have. This is actually one of the luckiest placements to have ever, because Jupiter in Sagittarius, Pisces, and Cancer are great placements, and Sagittarius, you just have a lot of luck when you have this placement. With this placement, he is someone who's always going to have a lot of luck presented towards him because he's very enthusiastic and he has an optimistic outlook on attracting good fortune. So usually he just believes in himself and just knows that things will come to him. He's someone who wants a career that is aligned with his heart. Success is abundant for him. He's someone who's good at turning ideas into reality and using this to bring him luck. So this placement, with the vision being there and with the optimism being there, that is one of the reasons why a lot of luck comes to people with this placement, because they believe themselves and they know that things will work out for them. Up next would be his Saturn in Pisces, and with this placement, it can be a very interesting placement because one of the things that they have a hard problem with is creating boundaries and structures, because sometimes they feel like creating boundaries, they feel like they're hurting other people's feelings or doing things that aren't the best because they are putting themselves first. Also, by having this placement, they tend to be the types of people who will have a lot of personal sacrifices to make, and it's a lot for them. And being intuitive and creative is something that is very great for them and will really help them a lot to make the best decisions that they can. But being able to control their reality is something that can be hard as well, because at times, some things are very difficult for them in their lives, and some things they can imagine them being difficult. So being able to differentiate the difference between things being actually difficult and what they believe in their mind is very crucial for them. Up next would be his Uranus in Capricorn. And with this placement, he's all about planning for the future as much as possible, and this makes him an automatic innovator, because since he wants to create things for the future, he's going to figure out ways to make money, figure out ways to have stability, and figure out ways to do things that are going to really help him and benefit him. He's someone who's always seeking out practical solutions by challenging society's attitudes to customs, traditions, and authority structures. He's very logical and orderly, and he loves dealing with things in a manner that will result in permanent and carefully planned but sweeping reforms. Being able to change things for his generation and the generation of people who are with him. They want to make sure that a lot of the things and the laws that are made in their generation is done better, and that things are done in a respectful way, but it's carefully done to make sure things change for the next generation. Next up would be his Capricorn and Neptune, and with this placement, he's someone who will always focus on ways to create power, wealth, and influence. This is the vibe that comes from Capricorn placements, being able to increase something, particularly money or power, their influence in this life, and he's been able to do that. He is very much successful in his right, and he's able to do a lot of things and he's been able to benefit from a lot of things as well. So he's very great at things like this. And he's also someone who is going to work as hard as he needs to in order for him to attain reasonable goals. But sometimes being selfless and giving is something that can make it difficult for him to really accomplish his goals. However, he needs to know that he can accomplish his goals and be selfless as well, because that is a balance, and he is able to do what he likes in life and able to help other people in life as well. So it's kind of a win-win for him. Up next would be his lovely Pluto and Sagittarius. So since he was born between 1995 and 2008, he's a part of Generation Z. So he's someone who's always on the search to add to the wealth of knowledge for his enjoyment. And this is something that happens a lot with this generation, because they love to really read and focus and learn about new things just for fun and just for them to get a better understanding as to how society works. They're all about freedom, experimenting, exploring, and taking risks. Optimism is something that they love. A thrill of living is something they love, and possibilities as well. They are the types of people who may talk about globalization, different issues around the world, and things that can really happen to benefit them in the best way possible. So being a part of Generation Z or Pluto and Sagittarius is a great placement to have as well. Up next would be his North Node in Libra. And in order for him to really develop or uncover his hidden gifts and talents, he would need to do this. So have a lot of cooperation. Diplomacy and tact is very important. Increasing awareness of others' needs. Selflessness is important, giving without anything in return, creating win-win situations, sharing, seeing things through another person's eye, communicating his self-identity, also being able to listen to those around him, being able to put his energy into building relationships that last, identifying with the diplomat within himself, creating beauty and harmony in his environment, learning to connect and share with others, beginning to compromise for his own happiness and fulfillment, not to be so independent and disconnected from others, but he needs to follow his path in union, and nothing can go wrong with him. Up next would be his Chiron in Libra. So with this placement, he tends to have the wound of relationships. So relationships can be very difficult for him because in a way he values the meaning of other people's opinions for him. And in order for him to feel comfortable in a relationship, he feels like he may have to sacrifice a lot, meaning being able to express his individuality in partnerships, interpersonal relationships in regards to boundaries, and confirms the wishes of his partner. This is hard because not having this will make him be unhappy and for him to get used a lot. So knowing how to set up boundaries and learning how to be himself and being okay with being himself and not let anyone guilting him or anyone with this placement of being themselves is something that can really help them. And knowing how to connect with people who are the best for them and want a partnership with them and not to control them is important as well. Up next would be his ascendant/rising in Virgo. And with this placement, he's someone who's very much reserved and shy in a very new setting. He can appear detached or critical. He's sensitive to bodily discomfort. He may be a picky eater. He's someone who's great at pinpointing details. He can be overly worrisome and high-strung. He's attracted to those who need help because he really loves to help people. He does not really like public displays of affection, and he's a very dependable person as well. He's someone who's very much logical and helpful in relationships. He's very neat, very precise, and he can be critical as well. And he's someone who's going to be organized and very practical in his relationships. And this is not only the appearance he gives, but this is some of the traits that he gives as well. And he's just very much able to really get that and very much able to benefit from that as well. Last but not least, lovelies, is his Taurus in Midheaven. He's someone who in the public eye in regards to his career has the image of toughing it out regardless of what happens, being in charge of his life, spotting every opportunity that comes towards him. He's someone who's very much consistent. He is very much reliable, very tactful, pleasant, and resourceful. So being able to be resourceful is something that he's able to benefit. He's also someone who's very pleasant to be around in regards to his career. And he's very much reliable. He's also someone who's very persistent in his career. So he knows how to get the results needed, because regardless of what the difficulties come towards him in his career, he's going to make sure he accomplishes it. He's someone who is the type of person who, when he's settled in his career, he's going to be there for a while. He thrives on careers that gives a much more hands-on approach. And he's someone who believes in true security in his career. That's all I have for you lovelies today in regards to Timothee's natal chart. Please let me know down below how you felt about it. Did you get a better understanding as to who he is as a person? Please also let me know down below who else you guys would want me to do a natal chart analysis on. Last but not least, please make sure you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you know when I upload videos on the daily. Please also make sure you hit that like button and that share button. And last but not least, please make sure you're following me on all of my social media accounts, from my Facebook to my podcast under Abbie Dagrin, my Etsy store through my Instagram under Gael Beauty, and my PayPal, which is linked down below. I love you all. Please stay safe and healthy, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, lovelies.